This new phrase around support experience and really unlocking that insight from support interactions for the rest of the organization and for your customers and for CX. What does that mean to you? And we'll start with Erica. How do you see that as in terms of a subset, maybe?
I think every customer, at least the ones that I engage with, they want that white glove experience all the time now. That's the support model they want. I even as a customer, like, it doesn't matter if I'm going to buy a car, if I'm going to buy a computer, I want someone, quite frankly, to hold my hand all the way through to the end. Even though I know what I'm looking for, I want to know that you care about me for 60 seconds or 60 minutes. And that's the customer success that people want this day and age. It's, COVID has only done what technology was already doing. It's making us be faster. It's making us, evangelize things different. But there's still you still have to connect with me face to face, and I want that face to face connection, even if it's virtual through a Zoom screen. And so I think that's the piece is I want you to care about me, even if it's a short amount of time, all the way through to the end, because I'm going to come back and I'm going to be like, God, I don't know somebody there, but I know Catherine now, and I'm going to come find Catherine when I want to talk about CRM. It's that connection of the customer success is what people want.
Yeah, I think for us, we just talk a lot about the customer's goals are our goals. And so our customers chose our products over some other products for some reason. And so we work really hard to pull that rationale through from the sales process into PS, into CS, into support. So we just understand better why they chose us, how do they measure ROI. It's not about features being used or reports being run, but like how do they justify the expense of our software to their CFOs? And so we can really think about like the whole end-to-end journey about why they use the products, what are their goals, what's their measure for ROI, and are we really driving on the things that deliver that? Happiness is great, but I'd rather have them be successful and achieve ROI than happy. They can be happy too, but if I have to choose, I want them to have a clear case for the money they give us is money well spent. And so when the CFO is looking to do horse trading with budgets, they say, this is the money, this Netscope money has to stay. And this is really, really good ROI. It's got a great experience around it. And so we just want to make sure that we're really zealous in that endeavor.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. Catherine, how about your thoughts?
Yeah, I think we're at a really interesting point when it comes to support or product success in our area. And it's exciting to be a part of it because the conversations are changing. When you think about what we receive in kind of two categories. We've got customers who are needing resolution. We've got customers who need education. And in the past, we would have designed the experience based on our org charts. We don't do that anymore. We've blown that up. And so what we're thinking about is, how do I get you to a simplified engagement model so you don't have to navigate and think about who to go to get an answer and the resolution or the education moment, right? And we have a responsibility to give you a lifeline. So what we're leveraging is simplification, getting you to an expert, getting you to the right outcome. And what's really important to do that, I've got to have good data. And so the conversation's changing too, now that we're harnessing the data, and I'll be really honest, I am a SupportLogic junkie. I love the tool, and here's the why, and I'm very honest about this. I have more signals than I've ever had before that are meaningful, that I can take action on. They're live. And so what it's doing is it's changing my conversation with my business partners. I sit at the table with engineering. I'm coming to the conversation with data that says I have negative sentiment in this area of the product. This is driving frustration, it's driving cost. It's different than saying I have case volume, which is what I was dealing with before. My conversations were, I was kind of like, where you're like, wah, 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 right, with engineering. They weren't hearing me in a way that I could influence. Now I show them actual sentiment, and I can take action with that, and I can change where we're going because of the conversation. And it's elevating, I'll say it, our brand in our organization. Support's a new cool thing. Right? And it's fun because we're at that, reflection moment that we're going to be a part of some really big change that's going to help the customer experience. And it goes back to, I love what you said about making sure the customer is successful and they're really obtaining that ROI, that outcome. And that means that we've got to line them with the right engagements at the right time for the right outcome.